Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Hoops and Hot Takes podcast. It has been a very long time since we have last given you an episode. It has not been for a lack of trying. Well, I guess it has been for a lack of trying because we did film an episode. We actually filmed two episodes. They just never got released. Uh, we're very sorry about this. Let's dive right in. So for today, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals, and then we're going to be recapping the both East and Western Conference Finals. But before we begin with that, there's been some news in the NBA. The co-founder of Aspiration, which, as you guys can remember, is the company of that was planting trees and gave Kawhi the sponsorship for I think it was like $20 million or something, and basically he did nothing. Yeah, so the co-founder of Aspiration is in jail for 14 years, which means Aspiration has definitely done some sketchy stuff. And if Kawhi is involved, this could mean extensive punishment for the Clippers. Carson, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking that like 14 years in prison is quite a long time.
Yeah.
Especially for something like white collar crime. Actually, I'm not too sure how white collar crime works and the kind of the prison sentences, but
Mhm.
I'd imagine this would just be like one of the more severe ones. And I guess it makes sense. It's more high profile. A lot of money was um, at stake and you know whatnot. As for the Clippers, yeah, I do think there probably is going to be uh league um like I guess league or like I don't know like league officials kind of enacting some punishment on the Clippers organization, just because like if you already have like legal kind of like repercussions, then you probably should have you know NBA repercussions as well. That just makes sense. Or maybe I don't know, there could be a chance where like Adam Silver and the the league decides, oh, like they've already been punished enough, which I doubt because I don't think aspiration is directly tied with the Clippers. So like it's not like imprisoning aspiration leadership is actually going to affect the Clippers operations very much. So yeah, I do expect there to be heavy punishment.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'm not really sure what that would look like though. Also, like just for Kawhi individually, like how is he going to be held liable? That would be interesting
Right.
as well.
Yeah, and what's weird is what is taking the league so long? You know, Like, because at some point, if they take long enough, Kawhi's going to be retired. Kawhi will be retired before the ban is out. There's a good chance. If they keep taking this long, because it was released a full year ago. This is not news, and I don't know how the league just has not done a single thing about it yet.
Mhm.
But
Do
yeah, uh-huh.
do you think like I don't know, like I guess they should suspend Kawhi. Um, but yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, players have
Well,
faced suspensions for much less,
yeah, exactly.
just across sports. So yeah.
Okay, but the stuff they're facing suspension for is DEI stuff, and oh, he showed guns on the court. We're gonna fine him. We're gonna suspend him. Oh, he punched someone. It's like the NBA being soft. But this is white collar crime. Honestly, probably something the NBA doesn't actually care that much about. I would not be surprised if Kawhi got away scot free.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
I said a lot of whatever buzzwords. The point is NBA suspensions, outside of doping, right? Doping is obviously you're doping, but outside of that, most NBA suspensions are pretty agenda driven, where the NBA is trying to make a point where they're saying oh, this is not okay, which I guess they might do for this, but I would not be surprised if this is not something they care too much about.
The way other than doping, I don't feel like NBA players really get get caught for that.
No, Paul George got caught like 3 times in the past 2 years.
Oh, that is true. Paul George did get caught. But I feel like it's probably like it is probably happening around the league. It doesn't affect like actual. I don't think it affects it that much for basketball. I mean, I'd imagine with someone
It
like LeBron, like okay, yeah, it could,
definitely
but like, yeah,
does. Okay.
what was fun?
All right. Next. Next item to talk about Team Canada, the basketball Team Canada, right? There's many Team Canadas. So Team Canada basketball just released a preliminary roster, a 24-man player pool for their upcoming FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifier. And notably missing are people who are probably Canada's second and third best player in Jamal Murray and Andrew Wiggins. Would that be accurate? Or who? I think Jamal Murray is definitely second best. Is Andrew Wiggins their third best player?
Um, well, just like in terms of how good they are at like basketball, maybe. But like,
I
I
guess
don't
like
think Wiggins
I
has
guess they
done
have
all
like
that much.
Dylan Brooks, Benedict Mathurin. I don't know, not Mathurin. Like Brooks, Alexander Walker.
Yeah, but like, if we're just talking about like how much what they've done for Team Canada, like RJ Barrett has
Uh-huh.
been really good for Team Canada. So, like, I guess he even has the argument for being like their second or third best player. I mean, obviously, like Jamal Murray is better in the NBA. Andrew Wiggins is probably
Mm-hmm.
better in the NBA as well. But RJ Barrett's been really good
Okay.
in international play. So
You know,
yeah.
I think it's very unfortunate that Team USA doesn't have this, where like it's more strict on like you needing to be committed to play, you know, because I think that would definitely drive some people away from playing, but that would also bring make I think that would make people who Olympics, and if you hang the Olympics on like, hey, if you want to play for the Olympics, you got to do World Cup, you got to do World Cup qualifiers. You know, if you added that as like requirements for the Olympics, I think people would be more likely to like there would be people that care about the Olympics that would do World Cup. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
So I think this is something the U.S. should look towards adopting because first of all, like Team USA basketball is very fun basketball to watch, right? From a
Hmm.
fan perspective, and also from a U.S. you know American perspective, is like realistically, the FIBA World Cup is not a stage that we have been doing very well in recently.
Oh yeah, no, not at
We've
all.
actually been doing pretty poorly. I think in 2025 was the last time we had one, right? I think I think we got bronze. Not great.
Wait,
So yeah,
2025.
just not a great look for like a country. What was it the last one?
No, it was like 2023, no?
Oh no, well that was like America.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like Euro basket except for America.
Yeah, because it
Wait, we
happens
got
a year
bronze.
before the
What are we
Olympics.
doing? We're facing like we're right like
Hmm.
Euro Cup. How are we losing or America Cup? How are we losing America Cup? What are we doing? Like we're playing like what? Mexico, Nicaragua. These are countries where the average height is like 5'5". How are we losing to them in basketball? We should be able to send
Yeah,
out like James Wiseman and Cody Martin and win gold. Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
think Team USA basketball definitely needs to lock in.
Hmm. But yeah. To your point, I mean, I believe this is like kind of Team Canada's first time doing this as well. And I thought actually like,
Yeah.
obviously I want to see Jamal Murray, Andrew Wiggins, especially being like a Nuggets fan. Like I want to see Jamal Murray, play,
Mhm.
international basketball. Um,
Right.
I've always like, like when Jamal Murray's playing for Team Canada, I actually like want them to win a little bit more. When he's not, like, yeah, I really do not care for them. I actually like do not like that roster at all. But that's besides the
Well,
point.
you're quite the Canada hater. Like, let's not.
Yeah,
You are quite
normal.
the Canada hater.
Yeah, normally, I'm not a big fan of the country as a whole,
Hmm.
but when Jamal Murray is playing for that team, uh, I don't know, it kind of balances out, So yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But um, but yeah, I like that Team Canada did this because I mean, other countries, especially like European countries, who have been really successful on the international stage in this century, they've been doing this like for a long time, right? Like you can't just like randomly just like show up a few months before the Olympics and go to a few training camps and just like expect to you know, make the roster and then like even start. And I think really it's
Yeah.
just been Canada and America who have been the two countries that can do this and that have been doing this. And America is like the only country that can really do this just because America is able to pull out a squad like what they call like the Avenger squad in the Paris Olympics and just every single this year.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is just like basketball. This is USA. Like this is just kind of how it works. You have the talent. But even then, even with America,
Uh-huh.
like this is becoming less of a uh, less of a like a thing as well. Because I mean, before you had like the dream team in '92, and now looking forward, like who are the best um, young American players? And there aren't actually like that many. I mean, there are still more than like compared to any other country in the world. But just compared to America in the
Wait,
past,
wait, wait.
like the
I think that's
trajectory
been
isn't.
distorted by like the past few years, though. I think that's been distorted a little bit by the past few years. Like the top
Yeah,
prospects, like Zach Risache, Alex Sarr, Wemby. But like you look at
yeah,
this year, we have so many good Americans, right? Like Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper, uh, VJ Edgecombe, Con Knipple, all Americans. Coming
yeah,
up, we have Caleb Wilson,
yeah,
Cam Boozer, AJ
yeah,
Devansa, Darren
yeah,
Peterson.
yeah.
Like I think the reason the past few years were so bad in terms of uh US development was I think like US basketball got hit pretty hard by uh by what am I calling it? The COVID. Yeah, I forgot COVID. Yeah, by the
Mm,
pandemic, right? And so that's
mm,
affected the past few drafts, and I think we're slowly recovering, and that's why you see the top of these drafts are more stacked with American talent, right? Now, obviously, Wemby's like an exception. He would have been number one pretty much any draft unless you had like LeBron there. Like he's generational talent, but like you look at the draft after him, where Risa Shea and Star were the top. Like that was a pretty weak class. That's not showing, oh, France is dominant. That was just like such a weak class that two bums from France were able to make it to the top, you know. But I think in terms of like young talent, America definitely still holds like I could build you like if we made a team of rookies only and sent them to play in a World Cup, they could easily win gold. Like if we sent a team of uh, Dylan Harper, VJ
mm.
Edgecombe, Con Knipple, Cooper Flag, and like Derek Queen. Is Derek Queen the highest drafted center? I think he might be, right? A World Cup, there's a good chance that
Mm.
team is winning gold.
Yeah, you lagged out a little bit. We can still hear you though. But no, I know. Like I 100% still agree that America has the best young talent, has the best old talent, has the best basketball talent in the world still, and it still isn't that close. But the trajectory, like compared to America in the past, I do think this is
Right.
downwards. Um, and yeah,
I
you can say
agree.
COVID and whatnot. And even if you brought up a lot of young names, and like there's a bright future with a lot of them. I mean, Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper, and some of the other rookies that you mentioned, like Derek Queen, and some of the uh, draft prospects, right? Like you said, Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, why not? Like these are great players, Caleb Wilson. None of them have been an NBA All-Star yet. Like I get that they're really young and they just like haven't been in NBA. Some of them aren't even in NBA yet. But like it's just like they haven't reached that level yet. I guess they could, but I just haven't seen it yet, you know.
Well, even if you're
So
talking like young NBA All Stars, America still has
mhm.
plenty of those. We have Cade, we have Halliburton, we have Jalen Duren, we have Bam. Well, Bam's not that young anymore. We have Jalen Duren, we have Chet, we have Oh yeah, J Dub's
No,
American. J Dub's
yeah,
American,
we
right?
we
Like
have these.
there,
No, I'm
we
not
have them.
disputing that. We have them,
Uh-huh.
but like compared to the past, right, where you're just like rolling out like Hall of
Right.
Famers, and like even just
Right.
like the Paris Olympics, like that starting lineup was really old, right? I
Well,
mean,
no, but
Curry's
I
old,
think I
LeBron's
think that
old,
was just like Steve
Durant's
Kerr being
old.
stupid and like farming these old people for like glorious moments and stuff. Because like
Hmm.
realistically, we had so many talented young players who are on like Hall of Fame trajectories that straight up didn't play. I say so many. It was really just Tatum. But like we have young players, we just didn't let them play.
Yeah, 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 and that's like more of a like a that's historically how Team USA has operated. Like, let's go chase the glory. Let's go let like these Hall of
Right.
Fame players like kind of just like pad their resume a little bit more, right? Instead of thinking like how can we like actually maximize the development in the future and just like stay competitive for as long as possible. Because that never was concerned. It was always just what if we play our best players, we're gonna win. It doesn't matter, right? But maybe moving
Well, and I
forward,
and I
might
think
be a little
I
concern.
think that's still true though. But I think now that we have Spolstra, right? I do think
Hmm.
Spolstra is going to be like a little bit more locked in on this than other coaches would be.
Hmm.
I do think it's unfortunate that Coach K stepped down. I do think that like I do like the idea of a college coach taking this position rather than like a I think it should be. I think a college coach is the best scenario. If it's just like it's really hard to find a coach with the what do you call it? The I guess the aura that Coach K had. But I do think like because NBA, it's so you're so focused on your NBA franchise, right?
Hmm.
And like I guess same thing with like college, but like I just think college is more suitable for this kind of international stage, just because I think that college and international game are more similar.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
also, I think that was better than like what team with Mark DeRosa. I don't know if you know, but like Mark DeRosa is like a media analyst who got the job for Team USA. He has done a terrible job. Like this
Hmm.
guy doesn't know how to. He just assembled like the best players, right? Like we're talking about like, oh, we want to assemble the best players, don't want to just chase glory. But like we also want someone who knows how to coach, right?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that I personally think that a college coach would be the perfect balance. I don't know if we want to go back to Duke. I think their coach is still really good. Who else is good? Um, honestly, you don't think you could call up like Michigan State and ask Tom Izzo to coach Team USA? I'm sure he'd love to. I think Tom Izzo is like the perfect guy. But yeah, you can't complain with Spolstra. He's one of the best coaches ever. Like we're picking at
Yeah,
what's the
yeah.
saying? Grasping at no, not grasping at straws. Splitting hairs. That's the expression. Yeah, we're splitting
Yeah,
hairs.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, we kind of started with Team Canada. We kind of went a little bit off track with
Right.
a more America focus. But yeah, kind of going back to Canada, I like that their coach and their management has decided for Team Canada moving
Mhm.
forward that if you want to play for them, well then you have to commit for a full cycle, right? A full like 3 4 year cycle where you play in the qualifiers, you play World Cup, FIBA World Cup, you play Olympics because that also just gives you a better chance of winning. Because I mean, if we just look at like the European teams, like why are they able to compete with um the USA squad? Why was Serbia able to be up 20 and like, play a close game against the USA? Why was France able to like play a close game until Curry went
Why
crazy?
did South
Like,
Sudan almost beat us?
oh yeah, why does South Sudan like these are just teams that just have a lot more chemistry, have a lot
Right.
more years of playing together, and this is like that's just like the default there, right? And so Canada is like I think Canada is beginning to see like, oh yeah, like we are in America, like we have to kind of adopt that as
Mhm.
well. Because if we're just talking about like
Right.
strictly off talent, I do think that Canada does have a very solid argument, and they're probably the favorite. Well, not favorite, but they probably are the second like most talented um
Well,
roster
I
like in the
think
world.
France might be the second. I think France is second, but like they're probably third.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Just
like
because like
it.
Wemby carries
Yeah.
so much weight, and they also have like
Hmm.
Alex Sarr, and who else do they have? They have
Gobert.
Gobert.
Yeah.
But Gobert doesn't really
Nick Batum.
play. Yeah, Nick Batum. I don't know if Zach Reese is going to
Yabusele.
play, but like they technically do have him. Okay, okay. Calm down
Yabusele is the
there.
guy who dunked on LeBron and the
No,
gold
no, I
medal.
understand. I understand. But yeah, yeah, I think that Canada, the main thing that separates Canada from the rest of these countries, I think they're the only country that has depth, right? That has NBA depth. Because you look at like the 24-man roster that they put out, they have the privilege of like most of these players, or like most of these players that are probably going to be in the rotation are NBA players, right? I
Oh, they
think
can run
like
an
with
entire
France,
NBA player.
exactly, exactly. And I think they're one of like maybe two or three countries that are able to do that. Because you look at like France, right? They obviously have like plenty of big men, but when you get down to like the guard positions, like Reese Shea could start, and that's not a good look, you
Koulibaly.
know. Oh, I forgot Koulibaly's French. Koulibaly is much better than Reese Shea. But yeah, like not a great look for them. Serbia has Jokic. Obviously, they have Jovic. They have Topic is Serbian. Is Topic
Yeah,
Serbian?
yeah.
Topic is
But he
Serbian.
he
They
hasn't like
have
played just because of his like issues, like his cancer and whatnot.
yeah, because he has cancer, and then and they have Bogdanovich, right? But then like outside of
Yeah,
that, it's like non NBA talent. So yeah, I
yeah,
think it's really just USA and Canada run these like full NBA teams.
yeah, yeah,
So I do think that with like this, if they lock into like this like practicing together kind of mindset, could be really dangerous, especially because like if they're all in, if like they're actually all in the way these other countries are, their starting lineup is dangerous, right? You have
yeah.
Shea and Murray, and then you have like
But then
uh
Murray's out.
huh? Yeah, but
But
Murray, I'm
Murray.
saying if they had they all joined, you would have like Murray, Shea, probably RJ Barrett, Andrew Wiggins, and like Zach Edey, right?
Hmm.
And like, let me just say, like for Shea, playing with Zach Edey would probably be a breath of fresh air after the stinking performance that uh Chet put up.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, Wiggins and Murray aren't going to be playing, and then Edey's injured right now. He's not on the list. I don't know if he can join because like I feel like because they said like if they don't commit this summer, they're not in, right? But I feel like if you're injured, that would be a reasonable excuse.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely a big hit for Team Canada, but I do like the direction they're taking. I do hope Team USA locks in and does this at some point, but I don't see it happening. It's just not in our culture.
Not yet, yeah.
Let's move on to the conference final recaps. Um, so, as we know, the Knicks swept the Cavaliers, and the Spurs beat the Thunder in seven. So I think I had this outcome. I actually think I had the Spurs in six. But yeah, I had the Spurs. You had the Thunder, right?
Yeah, I had Thunder in six.
So why?
Well, why? Why did I
Why?
have the Thunder in six? Well, I just
Yeah.
thought the Thunder were the better team.
You're
I
so
thought the Thunder,
stupid. You're
huh?
so stupid. How could you thought the Thunder were going to win? Clearly, the Spurs, man. You don't know ball at all. What a stupid choice by you.
Well, yeah, I just thought the Thunder were and have been the best team in the league this season. Um, and yeah, the Spurs, did well against them in the regular season. But I was just like, yeah, the Spurs are also just like, I mean, they're a young team. Like this core has not made it to the playoffs. So before, so I was just doubtful. And those are the main reasons why I picked the Thunder to win.
I think for me, I think we made our picks after game one. So I was definitely like heavily influenced by game one because I think game one straight up was just one of the best games ever played by anyone. Like
Yeah.
Wemby was absolutely unbelievable. And yeah, it was just like I was thinking, man, this guy's so good. I think like he's the best player in the world right now. Like, or at least that was what was going through my head when I made the pick. And I'm just like, you have the best player in the world. Uh, I was like pretty impressed by Castle and Harper that game because both of them had very good games. Like, wow. And Fox is even healthy. So I was like, okay, yeah, Spurs are winning this in six. Obviously, I didn't get it exactly correct. But hey, one of the rare times that the hot take works out,
Mm.
Yeah, just throughout the series, I think, I'm pretty disappointed. Well, actually, I'm not disappointed in Chet. I think that Chet, this is kind of just what he is. Uh, he is great in the playoffs. Uh, yeah, like I've not seen him have like a really good playoff game. I remember last year against the Pacers in the finals, like he was struggling heavily. Uh, I also remember like I'm pretty sure to end game three because uh, Pacers won game three to go up 2-1, right? Pretty sure at the end of game three he got blocked by Miles Turner like three shots in a row to end the game. Uh, Somebody fact check me. I'm not. I know. Miles Turner blocked a three, and then someone got a rebound pass to Chet, and Miles Turner blocked him again. Pretty sure he
Oh
blocked him again
yeah.
after that. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that.
yeah. Like Chet is just like, and also like you can tell Chet is just like really scared of the moment, right? Like we talk about some of the other centers who like shrink in the playoffs, like Cat and like, or not centers, but like big man in general, like Cat, Randall, like the Cat and Randall are not shrinking because they're scared of the moment, though. Like most of the time they're
Wait, and
still
they've
putting
had
up
their
shots.
moments.
It's just like, yeah, and they have had their moments. Chet just straight up hasn't. Like it does feel like Chet is just showing up to playoffs and he's uncomfortable, and like it's like a more of a head thing than anything else. This might be like almost, I don't want to say a Ben Simmons situation because it's not there yet. Like obviously we've all seen the comparisons online, but I do think that like if this keeps up, we're heading in a Ben Simmons direction where he is just losing his confidence. But
Yeah.
obviously he's still young. Give him time. But it just isn't looking very good. And
Well, Ben
obviously the
Simmons
Thunder
isn't very
did
old right
deal with
now.
like, right, but
Yeah.
like still much older than Chet is. I think Chet's what,
Yeah.
21?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Actually,
Yeah.
Chet's probably like 20, 23.
Mm.
That's still pretty
Somewhere.
young though.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Thunder definitely had a lot of injuries. I think a fully healthy Thunder probably would have won. Like if you're the Thunder, you can't really be complaining that much about bad injury luck because like you guys because like they have definitely had some good injury luck both this year and last year, right? They got to play a Lakers team without Luka, right? They're not sweeping the Lakers if the Lakers have Luka, like just in all honesty, right? Obviously, the Suns did the Suns really have any injuries? I guess Mark Williams, but like that wasn't really going to change anything. And then, well, obviously last year Game Seven Halliburton gets hurt. I don't know how much that would have mattered. I personally am of the belief Pacers win with Halliburton, but like back to this series, like they had Jada hurt. AJ Mitchell clearly wasn't healthy. Uh, who else was hurt? Mainly those two, but those two are like super important players, right?
Yeah.
And I saw a chart like I think like the AJ Mitchell with Shea pick and roll. Like it's like AJ Mitchell with the ball and Shea setting the screen is like one of the most efficient pick and rolls in the playoffs, which is kind of crazy.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, so I definitely think it's a big blow that both of them weren't healthy. And like I think the Fox injury honestly might have helped the Spurs a bit at the beginning. Because Fox wasn't great. He had a great. I do think he had a really good game seven. But like Fox just wasn't that good throughout the series.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, he's still a little, hobbled up as well.
Yeah. Because like
Yeah.
I think the main thing with Fox is like he's fast, and you could tell like he just wasn't that fast this series.
Right. 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 Yeah. Chet definitely was a ghost in game seven.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like after like the first 3 minutes, he played like 34 minutes or something. Um, let me just check again.
Yeah,
Um,
he took 2 shots all game. Second half, the entire second half, he didn't attempt a shot.
yeah, like he attempted 2 shots in 33 minutes, and the 2 shots like happened in like the first like 2 minutes. He basically went like
Mhm.
30 minutes, the rest of the game
Of Tony
without putting up a
Snell.
shot. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like, well, like, I mean, if the shot isn't there, like obviously don't force it. But there's no way like you can just like go a game at, you know, just like without putting up shots, like playing 30 minutes. Like you're just being a liability at that point. You have to put up a shot. You're affecting your teammates as well. Um,
Wait, you know what's
right.
crazy?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at the box score right now. The Thunder lost by 8.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams, not J-Dub, the other one, was
Yeah.
a plus 10. That's kind of crazy. You lose by 8 and he's a plus 10.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he played all right. But yeah, I mean, you brought up Cat as well as an example. I think Cat's actually having himself a great playoff. But yeah.
Yeah,
But
he is having
anyways,
great playoffs.
yeah. I mean, specifically about Game 7. And Game 7 was a pretty good game as well. Because the prior few games, a lot of them weren't as close. It was just like,
Mhm.
kind of exchanging blows. But
Yeah, I
Game 7 was
think game
definitely a
one and
close game.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, game 1 and 2 were really good, and then game 7 was really good.
Yeah. Um, in Game 7, Spurs kind of took an early lead, and then, kind of Thunder came back a little bit in the third quarter, and then, the Spurs ended up winning the game. But like really just I think down the stretch, that last like, during the clutch moments, you would expect a team like the Thunder to perform better than a team like the Spurs. It just makes sense. The Thunder have been here. They've won, right? They are the reigning champions. They have the personnel to be good in the clutch. I guess AJ Mitchell, J-Dup kind of hurts, but like you have Shea, right? Who's the clutch player of the year, and you have like other players who are capable of hitting big shots, and they have hit big shots. And then on the Spurs, like you have a really inexperienced young team who like none of them are really known for being like closers. I mean, because also like just they're not the best like isolation players, and they're not the best like shooters. So it's just like, well, you don't expect them to be um that great of a clutch team. But it was really surprising because I mean, you got big shots from Champagne. Uh,
Yeah.
you had big
Champagne was
shots.
amazing. Six threes.
Yeah, like it was. I was watching people like this guy could not miss, right? And then Dylan Harper like hit that huge step back three. Um,
Mhm.
Wemby obviously was consistently doing his thing. And it was just like, well, like everyone on the Spurs was contributing down the stretch. And then we watched
Mhm.
the Thunder, and it's just like, well, the Thunder almost like I think they didn't want it that much, or maybe they were just like a little bit confused. It's just like I was watching them, just like, well, what's going on here? Like they kind of lost their identity for a
Right.
second. Then there's enough blame to go around, but like I kind of blame Shea for this as well because like Shea, he's always been, SJ's, he's always had like uh, this nonchalant kind of
Nonchalant.
aura. Yeah, yeah, he's just like, he's always trying to be very
It's the
nonchalant.
most
And
annoying thing ever.
up until like they were already eliminated, and this guy, like, I guess is like cool that like his face, like, straight face throughout the entire time. But like, I need you to care a little bit more, like, especially the last 2 minutes, he became a ghost. Like, he didn't seem to want, I almost want to say he was afraid of the moment. Like, this is something that I don't really see from superstars. Um, outside of like LeBron
Well,
James.
even
It,
non-superstars, right? Like there are so many non-superstars that are spread at the moment.
and here's the thing, like, cause like LeBron James, even like even then, like LeBron would still like take some shots. He just like doesn't really hit that many of them. And LeBron will actually like he will
Uh-huh.
still drive and he would just kick out, right? So he's still at least creating
Right.
opportunities for his teammates. He just likes to like
Right.
drive in and kick out, right? So like cool, like at least you're still giving
Mhm.
your teammate a good look. Man, Shea wasn't even trying to get the ball the last minute. I was like, what's going on? He gave up. He gave up. But like he was just like doing his thing. Like they were they had they got the steal right outside the timeout. It was a
Mhm.
two possession game, right? Um, a little fast break opportunity. Shea gets the ball once, passes up immediately. They get the rebound, passes it up immediately, and then when they inbound again, he doesn't try to get to the ball. He just kind of like just like the I guess like they did. I don't know. There was no like set play for him to get open. Like he didn't get a screen or anything. But like he also wasn't trying to fight off his defender. Like it was just like I don't know. I think that those were just like on the court. last like minute where they could have still come back from the game and win that game, and I blame Shea for that. But also just like um yeah, like I think he needs to drop the like like the Wemby like wanted this so much more than him, and it's just I
Mhm.
guess if you don't want it that much, like no one's gonna force you. But like that's kind of why you lost, you know? Like you have the better team. And then that's Shea. Like the rest of the Thunder team, it's like no one was helping Shea out. I mean, it's just like it was embarrassing.
I mean, Case and Wallace, J-Dub, and Alex Caruso were okay. I mean, Alex Caruso didn't shoot very well, but like they played well. And
Yeah.
McCain. All right, oh, Daryl Morey,
Uh,
I hate you. But anyways, yeah, that's like I think there was like they were okay. Case and Wallace was really good, but outside of that, like everyone else was just not very
yeah.
good.
Case and
Yeah,
Wallace hit a
and
lot of big
so can
shots
we
on the
talk
floor.
about this? Right. Can
Yeah.
we talk about this like don't care gimmick? Like it's not just Shea either, it's Jokic too, right? The Jokic does it in a different way where he says, "Oh, I just want to go home and play with my horses," and it's a little bit
Whoa,
more
whoa, whoa,
likable
whoa,
because
whoa,
he's
whoa,
acting
whoa.
like a
No, no, no.
hillbilly and a farmer.
No. Yeah, I gotta push back on the Jokic one. This is an over like rated narrative. Like people always say, "Oh, Jokic doesn't care about basketball. Jokic just wanted the horse." This isn't true.
No, I'm not saying basketball. I'm saying like it's like not limited to basketball, like MVPs, accolades, this kind of stuff. Because like I don't think Jokic really cares about winning MVP,
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't care about winning MVP because he cares about winning championships.
Right. I don't think that's good either. Like I don't like most of you that know basketball will remember like when Kevin Durant went up and he cried when he won his
Hmm.
MVP, gave up an amazing speech. I think like this is an award that you like people would kill to have, right? You're working your whole life to get this recognition as like the most valuable player in basketball this season, and then these players are just getting there, getting it, and like they don't care at all. Like that's so annoying to me. Like I don't think they realize like how obviously they put in a lot of hard work, right? But how lucky they are to be able to have the potential to be this good at basketball. Like so many people, there are so many people that put in just as much work as they do in basketball and will never get anywhere near as good as they are. And they're just taking it for granted. Oh, I'm good at basketball. I don't care. I won MVP. I don't care. I'm gonna
Oh,
be nonchalant. Oh, I won a championship. I don't really care. I want to go home and play with my horses. Oh, I only
wait,
care about
that's
winning
not
championships.
true.
I don't care about
Oh, wait,
MVP.
that's a
Like no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This whole like narrative, I hate it. Right? Obviously, I'm not a big fan of like Wemby crying so much. I do think like I love that he's showing emotion. Right? Like that's the whole point. And obviously, crying is great, like in the right setting. I think he's doing it a little bit too much, but uh, I love the emotion that he's showing. Like this guy genuinely loves basketball. He cares about it, right? He's here for all of the smoke. Like I think the basketball needs this. Like we need
yeah.
our best player. Like there's a reason why like people don't really talk about Shea and Jokic as the face of basketball, and they were bringing up people like Ant because Ant visibly cares, right? And so now you have someone else as the best player in the world who visibly cares about this stuff and wants to win, and like when he loses, he's like crying with his mom. When he wins, he's crying and hugging his teammates. Like this is the kind of thing that you want to see in basketball.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think everyone this is great for the NBA that someone like Wemby cares so much. It's also kind of scary.
Yeah,
Like if the rest of NBA, like we're just watching this, like oh, like
right.
this guy's 22. He wants this more than anyone. He's 7'4", 7'5". He's like the most like this like absurd kind of talent that the NBA has ever seen, and like he wants this like so bad, and he's so young. It's just like oh, like it's over. Like, but but yeah, like I mean, I guess I see the criticism. Like, I honestly, I don't. I want Shea and Jokic to like maybe show that they care a little more. But I think like this narrative that they don't care isn't true. Because when I was talking about Shea, I was talking about like just like on the court, like there's just like practical things that he just wasn't doing, right? But like this
Uh-huh.
whole like if he wants to aura farm, like good for him. I don't really care all that much. As for Jokic, like I think this narrative is definitely push too much. Like obviously it's not like entirely just like the media just making stuff up. Like, he says things that like gives
Mhm.
them kind of
Right.
the ability to do so. But like people act like Jokic does not care. He does not care about the NBA. He does not want to win. This is obviously not true at all. Um, you know, I mean, you don't become the best player in the world. Like you're just like right, like that's just like simple. Like you just don't become the best player in the world by not like enjoying this. And also just like there are things that visibly show that he does care. Right, when he loses the games, he actually gets really frustrated. It's almost like the contrary. Like
Right.
this is an
Like,
issue. Like Jokic gets
yeah.
really mad and like, dude, like don't get so mad. Like keep calm and like try to play your game because he gets like mad and he gets frustrated and he plays bad. You
And
know,
he attacks Jaden McDaniels.
right? And then he attacks Jaden McDaniels, and then he attacks Cameron Payne. This has happened. Um, so so yeah, he definitely does care a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah. This is definitely more of a Shea direct problem than Jokic. I think Jokic brings a different brand of don't care that I'm also not the biggest fan of, but this is mainly
Hmm.
directed at Shea.
Hmm.
Because like the thing with Shea is like I think you have to realize like as an NBA player, you have so much influence not only on like your own brand and how you play basketball, but how like future generations play basketball because they look up to you, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think like with Shea is like you're like honestly is setting a pretty bad example for like future generations of basketball players.
Maybe.
Because like I think that's part of what makes like because realistically you look at like Kobe's accolades and his career and like you have him number two. His accolades and career do not show number two. Like, why is he so great? It's because this Mamba mentality that he inspires in both himself and in everyone around him. Because like his whole personality is that I might not be more talented than you, but I will work my butt off to be just as good and better than you, right? Like that is what you want people to be learning from, not this mentality of, no, I want MVP. I don't care. You know? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I think we can move on.
Yeah, I mean, this series it was a great series. I don't want to say it was disappointing or underwhelming, but I do think like when it's this series, and especially after game one, people are like, "Oh, this is going to be the greatest series of all time." It definitely was not the greatest series of all time. Um,
Well, what's
yeah,
the
like,
greatest series of all time?
well, this just isn't.
Well, what would be though? Like, I'm curious as curious.
I don't know what would be the greatest series of all time.
2016 finals.
That's some yeah, that's like something we can maybe do a segment on in the future. But there are just like many like
Uh-huh.
out 2016 finals definitely above this. Uh,
Uh-huh.
you know, 2018 Western Conference Finals definitely above this. Like, was this the best series in this decade? Probably. I mean, I have to rethink that. But yeah, I have to think about that a little further. But yeah, it definitely wasn't like matching the hype that people are saying like, oh, this is like the best like series like ever or like in a very long time. Yeah.
Trying to think what else is in contention. I might be biased, but like 2 years ago, I think this like the year the Celtics won, the
Mhm.
Pacers Knicks series that season was actually so good.
Yeah,
I
that
might
was
be
a great
biased, but
series. Yeah,
that
no,
was a
no.
great series. Like obviously, like it helped that Knicks were suffering a lot of injuries because I think Knicks were definitely the better team that year. Man, that was such an entertaining series.
Yeah, and I think like with a good series, like one you want like like two actually really good teams, right? Which you have in
Right.
the Spurs and the Thunder, but you also want it to be like really competitive. And like I guess this one went to seven, and there were some close games. There are also some games that just weren't that close, and it's like not that's no one's fault really, but like it's just like it wasn't like the best series. Uh, Yeah, I just had to get that out. Okay, we can move on to Knicks Cavs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean this
Oh
series like
man.
actually just like not a close series. This is a
Yeah.
terrible series.
This was a terrible series. Game one was nice. Game one was fun. Game one
Yeah.
was like, wow, this could be very interesting, and then it just wasn't. Like game one is just it's just like I think it's very similar to uh Eastern Conference Finals where like Pacers come back like Pacers come back from the huge lead, right? Like Neesmith and Halliburton combined for like 7 threes, and Halliburton hits the game tire with the choke, and they win in overtime. right?
Hmm.
And then like it just seems like all the momentum's with the Pacers, and they win game two, and it just seems like the series is over, right? The Knicks end up getting two games, but like after game two was kind of just over. And I think like this was the same thing, but even worse because like the Knicks last year, at least they still had the fight, right? Like there
Hmm.
was some clear like, oh, it's over. The Pacers kind of have you figured out kind of thing. But like the Knicks were still putting up fights, nights where they were getting great shooting and the Pacers weren't. Like they could still win the game because they still have the fight, right? The Cavs gave up, right? I think outside of Donovan Mitchell, everyone else kind of just gave up. Even Donovan Mitchell wasn't that great. Like I say a lot, the three worst defenders in the league are Luka, Trey Young, and uh, Trey Jones. Oh no, it's not Trey Jones. What's his brother's name? Tyus Jones. Yeah, I say those three are the three worst defenders in the league, right? I think James Harden might have joined that category. Man, James Harden was awful. Do you know in the playoffs so far? Do you know what the most efficient pick and roll has been so far?
What?
It has been the Brunson with the ball and Mikal Bridges setting the screen. Do you know why?
Yeah, because they just kept picking on Harden.
Yeah, because Harden's on Bridges, right? They're picking
Yeah,
on Harden. Harden's helpless. This guy's a cone. Like I say all the time, he's a cone, and he's not the big traffic cone. He's the little one in PE. You know, like the
yeah.
little purple and yellow ones.
There's sometimes green as well.
Oh, it is sometimes green. I think it's sometimes blue too. But I think
Yeah,
purple and yellow are like the main
uh,
colors.
yeah.
Like this
I
guy
mean,
was just genuinely awful. Like you could tell he wasn't trying. Mobley and Allen, honestly, throughout the playoffs, have been better than like past years. Like this year, they didn't lose because Allen got shoved in the locker. Like uh, heavily outplayed by Cat. I know like one of the things this is going to be a problem for the Spurs too is like they like playing their bigs in like this floating role, right? And they assumed that like, oh, we'll have our big man on Josh Hart. Josh Hart can't shoot. He'll be able to like move around. And the issue with that is that somehow, some time this offseason, I missed when this happened, but like apparently Josh Hart can shoot now. And he shoots really good. He's like 42% or something like that.
yeah.
So
I'm
like
pretty low
there's a
volume
reason why
still,
Josh
but yeah.
on pretty low volume still, but he had a
Actually,
game of
no, like
23
actually
points.
average volume. At like,
Yeah.
but most
He
of them
had
are
a
wide
game of
open
23
shots. Yes,
points.
yes,
Yeah, but like people are leaving him wide open, and when he's
yeah,
like he's not allergic to threes now.
yeah,
If you leave him open, he's gonna knock down a few shots, right?
yeah.
Uh, and that was just a huge problem for the Cavs. And I think Kenny Atkinson is showing some of like some of the stuff we criticize Doc Rivers for is like this guy can't make adjustments at all,
But
right?
he
Like
refuses to make
we watch,
adjustments.
he refuses to make adjustments. Uh,
Yeah.
in game one, when they were blowing the lead, he didn't call a single timeout. Like really, like we're looking at our screen saying, "Come on, man, you're blowing a 20-point lead right now. Call a timeout, bud."
Yeah, and then you
Like,
also
what are
hope
we
that like
doing
you'd
there?
help James Harden out a little bit more throughout the series, and that wasn't really happening. Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Like I understand like there's a part where like you're going in, you're saying like, oh, we trusted him. You want to build up his confidence, but this is not a young player. This guy's like what, 35? How old is James Harden?
oh, he's like 36, maybe even 37
Exactly.
now.
This is a 36, 37-year-old guy. Like he's not someone who really needs his confidence built up. What he needs for you to take him out the game, give him some rest because he's getting cooked out there. Right? This is not Chet Holmgren where you say, "Oh, we believe in him. We're going to keep him in. We're gonna trust that he gets better." Right? Because that's more something you do with young players. James Harden is not young anymore. You can't treat James Harden the way you treated Darius Garland. They're just not in the same. They're not in the same stage in their career.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, for this
I
series
think.
going into it, I
Go
had
ahead.
Knicks in five. Um,
I had Cavs in seven. I think. Which, man,
yeah,
like we always say, well, which I'm starting to realize we have quite a few sayings on this show, but it is called Hoops and Hot Takes, not Hoops and Good Takes. And let's just
yeah.
say that was not a good take.
Well, I think you let your Knicks take get in the way because
Well,
The
also,
Knicks,
also just that like the Cavs had shown themselves to be much better at home than on the road. So I was thinking like, okay, they didn't do very well. Like, first of all, game one was competitive, right? And then I kind
they
of
had a big
assumed
lead.
they would get better at home, right?
Hmm.
So I think that at the time, like obviously there is some Knicks hate to it, but I definitely I don't think any of us saw a sweep incoming. We thought they would have gotten at least one.
Yeah, but I think Knicks in five, and I didn't think it would be that close. And I mean, I didn't think it would be like this. Like, I didn't think it would be this bad. But I didn't
Mm-hmm.
expect the Cavs to win, just because, like, I mean, one, I think the Knicks are a better team. Two, I think like they
Right.
matched up really well, and also just like, I mean, the Cavs, it was just like, I mean, just like, well, I mean, this is after series. It's obviously not before the series, but like, yeah, like you were saying, lack of adjustments. Uh, defensively, like no effort. Offensively, like no like there's no commitment, no like no goal in mind. It was kind of just like it was almost like regular season basketball, except now you're in the conference finals, you know. And like you're saying, like nobody really showed up except for Donovan Mitchell. But even like Donovan Mitchell, like I'll preface, like Donovan Mitchell, you'll look at the box score, you'll look at his numbers, and you'd be like, oh, like he actually played all right. Honestly, Donovan Mitchell, not really. Like I feel like Donovan Mitchell, he has his moments. Like you'll have a quarter where like, he'll play really good, and that would inflate his numbers a lot. Like you'll have like a 15-point quarter, and you'd be like, oh wow, like he actually played all right. He gets hot. But for the majority of the game, he's like a 33% like from the field. He's just like chucking shots and missing them. Like that's been the way this way, like most of the playoffs actually. Like it's not just against the Knicks, like against the Pistons, against the Raptors. Most of his like production is just happening in like, like small like parts of a game. Like he'll get hot. Um, so yeah, I mean I like the Cavs roster when they trade for James Harden. I do think that just roster for roster, they do have one of the best in the East. And I do think they can be competitive next year. But it's just like if I look
Well, I think that
individually
if
at
they, well, I think if they want to be treated as serious contenders,
yeah.
that some things need to change. Like I do think like they're kind of hoping that LeBron comes back, and I think LeBron coming back probably would help them a bit. Just that like I think they're like their fifth starter right now. Like,
Hmm.
who are they starting?
Well, they
Uh,
started Max
Dean
Strus
Wade,
and Dean
Dean
Wade.
Wade,
Yeah,
Max
they would switch
Strus,
between them.
like
Yeah.
they were kind of awful. Like I think uh if you have Mitchell, Harden, LeBron, and then Mobley, Allen, that's a lot. That's like that's already a lot better. And then I don't know, do you trade for Giannis? Like
Well, I
I think
don't
there are moves to be made, but like that's for later in the offseason. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think that running it back for this team is definitely not the move, just because you don't
Hmm.
really have any ascending players other than like maybe Jordan Tyson. But I don't think he's gonna ascend enough to where it'll make a difference.
Yeah, yeah, I just want to say like their roster, I don't think has that many issues. If you're just looking at the roster on paper, they have a pretty good team. They have a solid bench. They have, like two big men guards. Like this is like a decent team, just if you but the problem is you look at the intangibles and just none of the intangibles are there for like any of the
Yeah,
players. Like maybe
and you talk
Mitchell.
about like right, and you talk about like Mitchell, right? He puts up great numbers in playoffs
Yeah.
always, but a lot of the times is like it's kind of empty stats, and
I
he's
mean,
like
that's what
getting
I'm
these
saying. Yeah.
points
Yeah.
at the risk at the oh my goodness, I'm actually forgetting how to speak English today. At the detriment of his teammates. Uh, like he'll put up 40, but it'll be like an inefficient 40, and he'll be robbing shots from other players. And like he'll see, oh, my teammates aren't doing very well. So instead of him saying, okay, well, let's try to get my teammates going, he'll say, okay, my teammates aren't doing well. It's time for me to take more shots, and he'll just start taking worse shots. And it's almost like a Kobe when he wouldn't pass the ball kind of thing. Except Donovan Mitchell isn't Kobe.
Yeah, but also like old Kobe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't that old. This was like mid 2000s Kobe, right?
Oh yeah. I guess yeah. He had two phases of that. He had the mid 2000s where he just had no one on his team, and then he also like after he
Right.
tore his Achilles, where he just like was kind of stubborn.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that team also wasn't really very good. Yeah, and like you said, game one was pretty close. I mean, the Cavs had a big lead, and the Knicks came back. But games two, three, and four, like I don't know when's the last
Mhm.
time I've seen a conference finals matchup, um, where a conference finals team just gave up like that. I mean, you lost one game. Like, yeah, it was a bad way to lose it, but the series isn't over. But just from games two, three, and four, especially the last two games, it's like the Cavs just decided, oh yeah, we're not gonna win this. And maybe that could have been true. Like, oh yeah, like you probably weren't gonna win the series regardless. But like that shouldn't be what you're thinking, right? Like you're in the conference finals. Like if you have a shot, but it just didn't look like they really wanted it. It didn't really look like they believed. Um, I mean, we've seen conference final sweeps in the last few years. Like we've seen the Nuggets sweep the Lakers. We've seen the Celtics sweep the Pacers.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, right. We've seen
Yeah.
these things happen.
Right. But
But
like
like
all of those, like with the Pacers, every single game was a one score game, or not a one score game, a single digit, right? Same with like the Lakers versus the Nuggets, right? Like it
every
was a
single game
sweep,
was
but
a
like
single score. Yeah.
yeah, every game was a close game. Like there are difference. There's a difference between the way you sweep something. This was like Thunder Sun sweep.
Right, but
In
the
fact,
Suns actually
Thunder
the Suns
Suns
put
was
up more of a
closer
fight.
than this series.
The Suns put up
Exactly.
more of a fight. Like you watch the Suns, they're like, oh, they're actually like Dylan Brooks after every game would be like, I got Shea. We're winning the next one. And like they didn't, but like at least like there was that was there,
Yeah,
like the
the fight was
mentality,
there, right? Like you could tell, like Dylan Brooks. Uh, oh my goodness, I actually cannot remember any words today. You talk while I think of the words I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, but like the Suns, like yeah, the games weren't close. But like you could tell the players like were trying to win, even though they knew they probably weren't gonna win. Or maybe they didn't know. That'd be better. Like honestly be a little bit
Uh,
delusional. You should be. But the Cavs are just like, well, I don't know what's going on. Uh
mhm.
I'm just watching it. It's just like, I mean, I think we said this after game one as well, but it's just like even in the Pistons series as well, and even a little bit against the Raptors. So this is nothing new. Like there's a lack of identity, and I think this is a coaching issue. Not only is like
Mhm.
Coach Atkinson, like Kenny Atkinson, not making the adjustments needed, right? Like he's been
Right.
stubborn, but also just like where is the there doesn't seem to be a team identity, like this is who we are, but there also doesn't seem to be an individual identity. Like, what is my role on this team? What am I supposed to do in this moment? There's just a lack of direction, lack of clarity for just pretty much all the players. And so as a result, you get this like, oh, well, we don't know. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know who we
Mhm.
are. How are we going to win? Like, obviously, you're not going to win like
Right.
that, especially when another team is just better than you. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like the role players were not like I mean I said this last time as well. Like Harden isn't a good defender. Like that's nothing new. That's been a thing, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Even in his prime, like he wasn't the best defender. But what did they do? They put him in the post, right? Because he's a decent post defender. He doesn't have to move around as much, right? But then now it's like, well, we know Harden's a bad defender. He's 37, like 36, 37. Can we do something about it? And it's not just like you don't just blame the coach. Like you blame like the role players on the team who like their job is to like maybe defend a Jalen Brunson, to defend a Cade Cunningham. That's not James Harden's job, like that wasn't
Mhm.
ever going to be a James Harden.
Right.
So it's just like there's just so many problems with the Cavs, and most of
Right.
them aren't, oh, like this player just isn't good enough or this team isn't good enough.
Right.
Most of it is just like, well, intangibles, like we were just talking about, just that they just aren't there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Totally agree. And like the
mm,
Knicks are buzzing right now.
mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
these boys are humming.
Mm,
Uh, like we had a few bad games of Mikal Bridges, and this guy locked in.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
OG, I think OG's like injured a little bit, but this guy is
Yeah.
playing amazing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think we've talked about pretty much everything there is to talk about. We can go on. We can move on to the next slide. Uh, I
Yeah.
want to talk a little bit about the matchup. Like this Knicks team, like obviously I think the Spurs are the better team, but this matchup favors the Knicks
Mm,
so much because I
yes.
think the like the Cavs, um the like Spurs are looking for a guy where Wemby can kind of wander off of, right? I think they did that with like who'd they do that with? Caruso and Wallace. And I think it's part of the reason why Caruso and Wallace kind of flamed them in a few of the games from three, right? But they're gonna run into the same problem with the Knicks now, right? Because you used to be able to just like sag off of Josh Hart or put or like hide your worst defender. Now, obviously, I think hide your worst defender on Josh Hart still works. So like uh if this was like who's a good example? Like the Bucks. If this is like the Bucks or the Pacers, you could hide like Dame or Hallie, just like hide them on Josh Hart. But like he can shoot now, right? Like especially wide open.
Mm,
You don't want to hide him on um you don't want to hide him on or no, sorry, you don't want him wandering off of OG or McHale because those guys are actually deadly shooters. Unless when if like McHale's really cold, then maybe because like when McHale, like I said before, when McHale goes cold, it is frigid. But
yeah.
like there's just no one really to hide to let Wemby wander off on.
Hmm.
So if he and I don't love him one on one like against Cat. Obviously, there's no one that Wemby can't guard, but I don't love the Cat one on one.
You don't
And
want
then
to do that.
for
Yeah.
right, and then for the Knicks, like yeah, these guys are buzzing. Like
Yeah.
actually, there's no one playing poorly. I think the only real concern they have is like Mitchell Robinson broke his hand, but outside of that, like man, these guys are like they're shooting well from three. Everybody's playing fantastic defense.
Is
Like
it
for once
confirmed that Mitch Robinson will just be out for the entire finals?
no, he's coming back. It's been
Because
confirmed. It's been confirmed he'll come back at some point. The
yeah,
point he's coming back just isn't confirmed yet
because he got surgery
because
already. I'm pretty sure, right?
because he got surgery like immediately, and then
Yeah.
the Knicks had so much time off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like this Knicks team, as I hate to say it, like as a Knicks hater, like if like I really need the Spurs to win because I would not be able to live with the Knicks winning a championship.
Generational hate.
No, because like I don't think you understand. Like I firmly believe that if the Pacers were if Halliburton didn't get injured and the Pacers are in the playoffs, we're beating this Knicks team. Like we're simply a terrible matchup for them. Like I really don't think there's ever going to be a point. Like obviously, I think they'll beat us at some point, but there's never like going to be a point in time as long as we have Hallie and they have Brunson, or actually more of we have Nemhard and they have Brunson. There's never going to be a moment where I'm scared of the Knicks.
Okay. Well, the Pacers aren't in the playoffs.
Right.
So the
They
Knicks don't have to
are,
worry
which
about
is
that.
no. So they don't have to worry about that, right? Like
Yeah.
no, that's why like I would be very
Hmm.
mad if the Knicks won. Also, just like Knicks fans do not deserve this.
What do you mean Knicks fans do not deserve this? They haven't
Knicks
won
fans do
since
not deserve
like
this.
71, 72.
Yeah, they deserve that. Like there are certain fan bases that aren't winning because they don't deserve to win, right? They aren't winning because they as fans are creating a hostile environment to play in. Where
Hostile.
where playing at home becomes uncomfortable. I think the Knicks are comparable to like I don't know how many of you guys watch hockey, but in hockey, there's a lot being said about Canadian markets and how like the eagerness to win and like just like the pressure from both the from Canadian media and Canadian fans are creating an environment where players don't want to play there, and it's really hard to like build a team correctly because of like outside pressure, right? And I think if there's any one place in basketball that's similar, it's New York media, right? Obviously, I think LA media might be the same way. It's just like LA is always good. I actually don't know. It's actually just unfair for some reason that like LA every sport is always good. The Rams, the Dodgers, the Lakers. Anyways, I'm a Dodgers fan. Not too mad about that one, but like, what am I saying? Oh, like the Knicks, like when you play bad as a star, they're ripping your head off, right? Like they're actively sabotaging their own players' confidence. Like Julius Randle was in shambles because of what Knicks fans were saying about him. There was a moment in time where Cat was in shambles because of what New York media was saying about him. Like if there's any market that is actively sabotaging their own chances to win a finals, it is New York.
I guess I see what you're saying, but they're playing well. So right now, the
No, no, I'm
opposite
not
works.
saying the
Now it's
players.
like, oh,
The
everyone is
players.
getting glazed, you know?
Right, right, right. No, no, the
Yeah.
players deserve it, right? Like Jalen Brunson is a fantastic player. These Nova Knicks, right? Like we talk about wanting it with like Wemby. I'm pretty sure Jalen Brunson wants it just as much as him, right? Like Jalen Brunson, for somebody like of that stature to play so well in the NBA, like that requires a lot of work. Jalen Brunson is like, if like me being mad, like obviously I'm a bit of a Jalen Brunson hater as because of like New York, but like Jalen Brunson winning would not make me mad in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying with like Knicks fans and Knicks media and New York media and it being like, tough on the players. But like, I mean, you always talk about like players being soft. I mean, I think this is just like if you can't deal with it, like, yeah, I guess don't go. But like, I don't blame New York. Like, you're just a big city and you have a lot of fans and your fans are passionate. This is a good thing, right? Like, this is almost like the lights are brighter, and this makes the
Right,
players,
but like
yeah.
we talk a lot about being soft. Outside of Cat, I'm not sure any of the soft players I'm talking about are on New York. Like the players I mentioned, like obviously Cat's kind of soft, but like Julius
Randall, but
Randle is not a player I would really call soft.
you're saying Knicks fans deserve not winning these because what they do is self-sabotage. I guess see like how it could hurt the team and but it's just like as a
No, because
player,
a lot of times, it's like it's like players that are playing through injury, and then they're playing poorly because they're playing through injury, and then the media is like because they're playing poorly because they're playing through injury. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I guess, but like I just don't think that's an excuse, you know? Like I don't think it's the fans' fault.
Excuse. It's not an excuse for the players. I don't think
Uh,
it should be. But I'm just saying, like, for the fans,
yeah.
these fans do not deserve anything. I do hope New York sucks forever.
No, because like just imagine like a Michael Jordan, like a
Yes.
Kobe Bryant. Like this will
Let me ask you
fuel
a
them.
question. Uh-huh.
This will fuel them,
Right,
right?
right,
Like even like a Jim Brunson right now. Like this is kind of like fueling him, right? Like
right.
if this is an
Let
issue
me
for
ask
you
you a
as
serious
then
question.
it's just like okay,
Does Stephen A. Smith deserve to celebrate an NBA championship for his team?
well,
Because
what?
Stephen A.
No,
Smith is the kind of person that is cheering for this New York Knicks team. Is Stephen A. Smith? Do you really want Stephen A. Smith to have the satisfaction of
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 winning.
having his team win a championship?
No, I
Because
want to
for me,
see
the
that.
answer is a clear no. I do not want to see that.
No, it would be great TV to watch.
No, better TV is the rain and darkness. Can you not imagine the Knicks get swept? And remember, Skip Bayless is back on the show now. Man, that would be if the Knicks get swept, that would be a generational episode. Like the hate that Skip Bayless would give Stephen A. Smith, man, I would have to tune in.
No, but that would have to be like no. I think Game 7 and then Knicks lose. Like, they blow like a 3-1 lead. Like that would be.
Oh
Because if you
yeah,
lose
3-1 lead.
if you get
Yeah,
swept,
yeah,
then
yeah.
it's like, well, okay, you just didn't really have a chance.
No, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
three.
that
No, you blow a 3-0 lead. First 3-0 lead ever blown.
I I think for this series, I mean, you didn't say your pick. I don't know if that was intentional, but I have the Knicks in 6. I
Uh-huh.
mean, a lot of things like you said were true, like the matchups. I think the Knicks match up fantastically against the Spurs,
Yeah.
and I think you alluded to it as well. I mean, I would just think like, who have the Spurs played so far? I mean, they played the Thunder. Obviously, the Thunder are really good. They played the Wolves. I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, the Wolves are decent as well, and they played the Blazers.
Decent, decent.
What?
The Wolves are better than decent. Now, obviously, they were injured, but like the Wolves are better than decent.
Okay, but anyways, the 3 teams,
They
right?
beat your team.
Yeah, anyways, with those 3 teams. right? And this is I'm gonna. You said they beat my team. Like I'll get to that. With these three teams,
Please do
they're
not get to that. We do not
no, no,
want
no.
you to get to that. You've been
With
getting to
these
that
three
so
teams,
much.
no, no, because with these three teams, they're all very perimeter heavy on their offense,
Hmm.
right? You have a Shea,
Right.
right? You have an Anthony Edwards. You have a
Right.
Denny Advio, who like I guess is a forward, but like he really like he just like kind of
Yeah.
charges in from top of the key, right? Like he
Uh-huh.
plays more like a is a point forward, right? Uh,
Hmm.
this is where the offense is being generated. The
Right.
thing with the Knicks is like yes, they can do that with Brunson, but we've seen this throughout the playoffs. They're doing like a like kind of like inside out. They're kind of flipping it where like you have a lot of the offense being generated from Cat, right? From
Right.
the inside, from the post. And Cat's also a great shooter as well. I mean, this is why like the Knicks are able to play like a 5-out offense to such an elite level, and they're just like they have so many options. But here's the main point I want to bring up. With someone like Wembanyama, he is at his best for his team when he's able to roam, right? Like that's why you're talking about him on Josh Hart.
Right.
When he is able to go around, be in the paint, disrupt just the entire offense, and kind of just move around and be where he likes, right? And just be the ultimate help defender and also like rim protector, right? That's what makes him best. The problem is, this is why I thought that if the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves, I thought the Nuggets were going to beat the Spurs as well. Because the problem is when you're playing a center like Jokic, like Karl Anthony Towns, who isn't as good as Jokic, obviously, but these are players who are able to individually give you buckets,
Hmm.
big, who are big enough to be threats on the offensive glass, who are also able to shoot at a high level. Now you can't just now if you're Wembanyama, you can't just like guard another player. You probably do have to guard this player. Like if Jokic and if it was Nuggets Spurs, Wemby is almost guaranteed to be on Jokic 1-on-1. And then what does that mean?
Right.
That means now it's 1-on-1. You take Wemby away from they can play 4-on-4, right? Like you take Wemby away from the rest of your offense. I think the Knicks with Karl Anthony Towns can do the same thing here. But I do agree that I think to start the series, they're gonna try to have Wemby still like on a Josh Hart, on a OG, I know probably Josh Hart because he's the worst shooter, right? Um, because that's what is best for the Spurs. But very soon, and I think this is why Karl Anthony Towns is going to be huge in this series. Like I think earlier in the previous episode, we said OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, they're the X factors. I still think they're big X factors, but specifically for the Spurs matchup, I think Karl Anthony Towns will decide the series. If he is able to capitalize on the fact that Wemby is going to be on like Josh Hart or something for the first game or so, and he is able to be a massive problem on the inside on the offensive glass, just giving them buckets, then I think this won't. I think this favors the Knicks very heavily. Like Karl Anthony Towns will win them the series, or he could lose them the series as well. Because other than Wemby, who is guarding Cat? I mean, right? No one has the size or the ability to do so. Um, and you don't want to put Wemby on Cat. As soon as you put Wemby on Cat, then like like the rest 4-on-4, I think I'm thinking the Knicks as well. Like the Spurs have a good team, but like I don't know about that one. So yeah, I think Karl Anthony Towns is really like the player that I'm watching. I think he's the huge X factor in this series.
Mm.
Obviously Josh Hart you mentioned as well. Like he's been a great shooter this year. So even if you do put Wemby on him, right, and you're able to kind of like um, sag off him a little bit more, help be a help defender a little bit more. If Josh Hart is hitting all his threes, like he did in a few games in the conference finals, you almost can't do that as well. So then the Knicks, like this is why I just think the Knicks have so many options. I think the Knicks, I don't want to say they're the best team in the league, but just this matchup, like if they're against the Thunder, I would have the Thunder winning. Just also because of matchups. But against the Spurs, like I think this is the Knicks are rejoicing right now that like that the Spurs beat the Thunder. Yeah, I mean, even if Josh Hart isn't hitting his shots, that's why you have a guy like Landry Shamet, who's been like incredibly hot. Obviously, I don't think that's going to keep up, but he is a great shooter, just objectively, right? That's one of the things he's brought in to do. Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk about like ways the Spurs can win this series. Um, I mean, it really is like Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox. Um, right? Because
Right. So I think it's my turn to talk.
yes, yeah,
You talked a lot about Karl Anthony Towns and how
yeah,
he's an X factor. I think the X
no,
factor for the Spurs is Stephon Castle.
no,
And I think the X factor for the series is who is the third best player in this series.
yeah,
Uh, Obviously, there is a world where Fox is the third best player in the series, but
hmm,
let's just ignore that and pretend that isn't a possibility, just for the case of this argument.
hmm,
Because I think if Fox is the third best player, I actually don't know what the series would look like if Fox is the third best player. But I do know what it would look like if it's Castle, because we just watched Castle put up, I wouldn't say generational, but a fantastic defensive performance on Shea. Held him to his second lowest shooting percentage of his career in a playoff series. So a fantastic job on Shea. Uh, Shea was out there struggling for sure. Had some of his worst games of his playoff career, and while Castle was like out here like throwing out dimes, Castle shot pretty well this series. Was a decent score. Like obviously he had a lot of turnovers early, but like
hmm,
the Knicks don't really force turnovers the way that uh, the Thunder do, right? So
hmm,
like I can see a world where you have because obviously like Wemby and Brunson they're gonna get theirs, but actually, honestly, if Castle's defense is good enough, I could see there being like not the series. I think obviously the series top two players are gonna be Wemby and Brunson, but there could be games like it's possible for there to be games in the series where the second best player is Stephon Castle because he's locking up Brunson on one side and then just like doing absurd offensive things on the other side, like we've seen him do, right? And if that's the case, like if that version of Stephon Castle shows up, I think the Knicks could be in a lot of trouble because uh, because with that version of Castle, you have so much offense that like because I think part of the reason I hate I know you guys are probably like sick of me doing this, like constantly talking about the Pacers, but like the Pacers objectively are like one of the best matchups against the Knicks, right? There's a reason why we beat them twice. Uh, and I think like one of the things we do is like we let them do whatever they want on offense, right? We obviously
hmm,
we put Nemhard on Brunson, try to slow him down. We do our best, but like the crux of the game is not to like slow them down. It's that we're like you can do whatever you want. We're just going to score more than you, right? That's kind of like the Pacers mentality is like we're kind of just going to score more than you. There's not really much you can do about it. Uh,
hmm,
and I think that if Castle is humming like that, and because we see like the shooting prowess of like a Champagne, a Vassell, a Keldon Johnson, right? Like
hmm.
when this offense is humming, it can be humming. I'm not sure the Knicks can keep up. Like if Dylan Harper or not Dylan Harper, if Stephon Castle's at the top of his game.
Whoa, wait, like
Now,
offense for
obviously,
offense?
this like going offense for offense, I could see a world where Knicks can't keep up with the Spurs.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's a terrible take.
No.
The Spurs'
Actually,
strong suit is their defense.
right. I know, but
Their
like
offense isn't all that great.
I am aware. I am
The
aware. I'm
the
telling
Knicks
you the
the
mhm.
Knicks haven't missed. Well, I mean, obviously they have missed, but like
Yeah, which means it's
th-
time. It's about time they start missing.
no, but like it's.
Uh,
I mean, yes, like yeah, if we just go regression to the mean, like yeah, like they're probably not gonna sustain. I mean, they could, but like it, like. But
no,
anyways,
I get what you
like,
mean.
but it's not like this is just like a coincidence as well. Like the Knicks have the personnel. Like the reason why they're able to hit all these threes isn't just like pure luck. Like everyone on that team could shoot from 1 to 5 from their bench. Like everyone on that team is capable of shooters. Like
Right.
everyone that plays. Even like Josh Hart is their worst shooter and he shot 42% on like decent volume this season. Obviously, most of them were wide open. We talked about that earlier. But like this is the team we're dealing with now. Whereas the Spurs, they're not that. I mean, Wemby can shoot, Castle can shoot, Harper, Fox can shoot. None of them are great shooters. So I just don't see the offensive upside not as high. as the Knicks. I don't see where you're getting that from.
Hmm. Where I'm getting it from, as I
Yeah.
said, is on one end, the
Uh-huh.
Knicks are getting locked up, right? Brunson's getting locked up. Cat,
Mm,
because the thing with like uh if Wemby is face guarding Cat, right? Then like
mm,
a lot of the offense is getting created by Brunson. But then
mm.
if like Castle is putting the clamps on Brunson, like the rest of the Knicks can't really create their own shot, you know?
OG can, which is why we said
Uh,
OG is a big X factor as well. This is why we said OG is a big X factor.
no, like OG can OG, sure, he can create offense for himself, but he's not running an offense, you know?
No, yeah, yeah, he's not like playmaking and whatnot. But OG bully ball, who on the Spurs is guarding that except for Wemby and like Castle?
Uh Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, like none of this.
Ooh.
Like OG and Anunoby is just like I just, uh, number one like X factor for me in this series is Karl Anthony Towns, right? Number
Mhm.
two is OG Anunoby, and then number three might be like a Castle, or like a
No, Castle
Harper and Fox. You know, Harper and Fox, one of them if they can like become
for me,
the
Castle is number one.
yeah,
Castle is number one X factor. All that being said, I have the Spurs sweeping the Knicks.
impossible.
You'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I
But
have the Spurs sweeping.
you were just telling us why you think the Knicks match up well against the Spurs, and then now you
Right,
say this is
right.
sweet.
No, no, no. It's a great matchup. All that is cute. Oh,
Yeah,
Keith, what a good matchup. What a good matchup. All that's cute. Do you want to know something?
yeah.
Matchups are all on paper. On paper, it's a good matchup. Whether or not this is actually a good matchup, like we're gonna have to wait and see. Because like there are so many times where I've looked at a series and said, "Oh, this is a terrible matchup for such and such team," right? Like, oh, like for example, when we were doing the Nuggets Timberwolves preview,
Yeah.
you were talking about how on paper, like this Timberwolves team is no longer a terrible matchup for the Nuggets. In fact, now it's a great matchup. And then the series starts, and that completely flips you on your head because it turns out they're still a terrible matchup, right? These things are all on paper, and like you
Because
really
Aaron
don't
Gordon and Tatum
know.
Watson weren't playing.
No, I really don't. I really think you're overrating that narrative. Anyways,
No, no, no. It's just for matchup,
no,
right?
we're
Because we're
done.
talking
We're
about
done. We're
match.
done. We're done. We're done. Uh, Point is, like all this matchup stuff, like obviously, I think it really just comes down to like, yeah, like you can't let Wemby like float around, right? But he couldn't do that against the Thunder either. The Thunder, like who was he sagging off of? There was no sag off for him to do in the Thunder series either.
Right. The difference is the Thunder, they're running Hardenstein, uh, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren, right? They're not that much of a threat. Like even if you don't have Wemby on them, they can be contained because they don't have it like offensive like ability. Like Hardenstein has his little floater. Chet just completely disappeared. And Jalen Williams, like I'm not even sure like what he's actually really good at. Like maybe he's a decent defender. But, like on offense, like I guess he can make a few threes sometimes if he's open and like he's all right in the post. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like they're not like they don't have that much of an offensive identity. You don't need
I'm gonna be
Wemby on
honest.
them.
I
And
think
even
Jalen Williams and
yeah.
Isaiah Hartenstein are both better passers than Cat.
Oh, oh what? No, 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 no. Hardenstein, he gets easy dump off passes like the way Mobley does with Allen. You know, he just like throws down to the dunker spot. That's not a hard pass to make. It's just like as long as you're like, you know, you have because the reason why Hardenstein is able to do it is because his floater is so good. So then he can just like
Mm-hmm.
floater or like dump off to the dunker spot. You know, that's not that hard to do. He gets a lot of assists, but Karl Anthony Towns, he's actually able to back you down in the post and make a play. You know, make a play. That's not something Hardenstein is doing. Hardenstein, you never see him backing anyone down in the post. He's not a post player.
That's a good point. That's a good
Chad
point.
Holmgren is
And
not a
also,
post player.
I will say, OG
Yeah.
Anunoby is one of the few people in the league I trust to guard 1v1.
Yeah, like we've been talking a lot about Knicks offense versus Spurs defense. So we should also talk about the kind of the the Knicks defense and the Spurs offense as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like before we get to that, yeah, like I'm mean, what were we saying before? Like, yeah, we do not want if you're the Spurs, we do not want to have to put Wemby on Cat. But if it does come to that, which I think it will, eventually in the series, then that's favorable for the Knicks. Um, yeah, but Cat needs to assert himself in order to like get that matchup first. Like it's almost like it's kind of paradoxical in the sense that if I'm Cat, like I want the Wemby matchup for the team at least, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Hmm.
the part we're forgetting though is
Hmm.
that even in that scenario, every single player on the Spurs is a pretty good defender, other than De'Aaron Fox, right? And De'Aaron Fox
Hmm.
isn't terrible either. But
Yeah. I mean,
the Knicks do have Jalen Brunson,
hmm.
and you can pick on Jalen Brunson in a way that you can't really pick on anyone from the Spurs,
You thought,
especially if Harper's in,
oh, you mean, oh, okay, sure, yeah.
right? Like, and also like I trust OG to guard Wemby, but like I also trust that Wemby will still get his, you know? Like I don't think what like I think we'll trust OG to guard him as in like maybe he won't have like a 40-point game, but like he's still gonna be really good. His impact is still gonna be unbelievable. Like you're just not gonna shut him down. And then also is like I think Mitchell Robinson being out is a
Hmm.
pretty big like blow for the Spurs, just
It is.
because the Spurs have such a big strength at rebounding, uh, especially like even when Wemby is not the one rebounding, they have some great rebounding guards, right? And
Hmm.
I think that Wemby has shown that when he gets tired, because he plays so much, when he gets tired, he can his rebounding does go down, which is why like Isaiah Hartenstein was getting so many rebounds. If Mitchell Robinson is hurt, that can be a big blow because Cat just isn't the best rebounder. Actually, he's a really good defensive rebounder, right?
Hmm.
Like, but like he isn't crashing the glass and like getting the tough rebounds. Like Cat is like, oh, I'm tall and I have long arms kind of rebound. He isn't like good at the skill rebounding. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which is what we need him to do. Offensive rebounding.
Right.
Punish them
Like,
not having Wemby inside. Or,
right.
I mean, I guess if they do, then Josh Hart needs to punish them from the outside. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that doesn't really exist if Wemby's just on Cat. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
which I think that like yeah that's probably gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna matter though. Like I do think like I was saying earlier, all this stuff, matchups are cute and stuff. You talk about these matchups, you talk about these narratives. Uh, who is the who? Like at the end of the day, the Spurs are just the better team. It's just that simple. Both in the it's shown in the regular season, and also if we want to talk narratives, the Knicks beat the Spurs in the NBA Cup final. We don't care about this, but I'm so sure that Wemby cares about this. Like I'm telling you, like it's probably somewhere in Wemby's diary.
Wait, I
Like
kind of forgot
Wemby definitely has receipts.
that the NBA
Like
Cup.
Wemby is
Yeah.
definitely burning with
Yeah.
hatred. Yeah,
Hmm.
Wemby is definitely burning with hatred against the Knicks. And we saw in game one, like in Wemby's face, they handed him, and like you could see Wemby's furious, right? And Wemby went off. I think there's going to be a similar effect in this game or in this series where like he wants his revenge. Spurs are going to sweep. Now I'll
I mean,
say this.
yeah.
This is a take that man, it could come back to bite me. This if it goes wrong, man, it could be the worst take of all time. But I'm standing by it. I think the Spurs are going to sweep.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Yeah, I mean, I kind of forgot that the NBA Cup was between the Knicks and the Spurs. Which I guess like, moving forward, like, because I mean the NBA Cup is still very young. Moving forward, how much of a like a finals preview will the NBA Cup be? Hmm. I don't think it will be that big of a thing, but
Not at all. Like, 'cause this is really. I feel like this is more of a coincidence.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm
I think this is
inclined to
more of a
say so
coincidence
as
than
well.
anything.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I also just want to say, like, in terms of finals series, finals matchups, this is probably my favorite going into it. I mean, obviously, it hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. But going into it, this is my most, like, personally, my most anticipated finals in this decade. I think the only one that comes close is Warriors Celtics. Um, Warriors Celtics, Spurs Knicks, around the same. And I do think Warriors Celtics ended up being the best finals of this decade. And I say Spurs, not Spurs,
What?
Thunder Pacers is probably um right after that. But but yeah, I'm thinking Warriors Celtics, Spurs Knicks, and then kind of Thunder Pacers. And then the rest of the finals like just weren't that great, right? Like the Lakers Heat bubble, not great. Bucks Suns, I mean that was okay. Um I mean, it ended up being all right, but like going into it, I wasn't that hyped. Like I wanted to see Nets Clippers, you know, because I thought those were the two best teams.
Mhm.
But I mean, the series still ended up being all right. Giannis had a great
Right.
series, Suns up to it, whatever. 2022, that was
I,
Warriors
I
Celtics.
I think
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm once again I'm very biased, but only one
yeah,
of these series went to seven.
yeah. I mean, sure. And then Nuggets Heat. I mean, that was a pretty terrible finals. Like as a Nuggets fan, that was like, I mean, that just wasn't very close.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh-huh.
I have a lot of
Which I'm sure you're not
hope for the series.
complaining about.
What? What do you say? You kind of lagged out.
Hmm.
Well, you lagged out.
I said, okay. Yeah. I'm the Wi-Fi here is struggling.
Yeah. I mean, just also like I'm excited because the
I
players in this series, we have Wemby, we have this Knicks squad, we have the young Spurs players as well. I'm excited for the matchups, right? Just like the things that the both teams have a lot of options that they can kind of go to offensively and defensively. So the adjustments will be interesting. The coaches are pretty good as well. Mitch Johnson and Mike Brown, both pretty good coaches, and whatever. And then
Mhm.
just also the two franchises. I mean, these are both like
Mhm.
pretty storied franchises. And the Knicks, I mean, obviously haven't had that much success, but just being that New York team, like there's a lot of hype surrounding that. The Spurs
Right.
have been a historically great franchise in the NBA. So like I just think for so many reasons, like this is just
Mhm.
a great finals matchup. Um, I think this is even better than Thunder Knicks, even though I think the Thunder might be the better team than the Spurs. But I wanted to see this finals matchup after the Nuggets went down and after the Celtics went down. I'm like, oh, this would be cool. Yeah.
Hmm. All right. Well, that's about it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It helps us so much. Honestly, what helps us more than that is if you would share it to more people, because obviously we're a small channel. That would help us out so much. Thank you guys so much. That is all for today. Hope you guys have fun watching the finals. Goodbye.